being divided ourselves as the opposition, DCP and DAP Kenya are sister parties in the same coalition. I believe by the time the date is announced and we go to that election,
ladies and gentlemen, the clip that we have begun with, these are two different presses. A presser first conducted by the Dap-K party leader EUGENE Wamalwa and one of the principals of the opposition led by Rigathi Gachagua. The second one is the current crowned Mulembe Nation kingpin, George Natembeya. Now, what is currently happening within the Dap-K party? There is some certain division that will actually mean that William Ruto might actually win the elections come the year 2027. Why am I saying this? The Dap-K party has been under EUGENE Wamalwa for the longest time possible. Now, in the year 2022, George Natembeya had exited the police force as a regional commander, a police regional commander in the Rift Valley region. And he went to vie for the gubernatorial seat of TRANS-NZOIA County. EUGENE Wamalwa and his party Dap-K, being the party that has always been on the forefront and the most recognizable party within the TRANS-NZOIA County, gave George Natembeya the ticket to run for the gubernatorial seat of TRANS-NZOIA County, then replacing the then outgoing governor, Patrick Ayemba. Are we together? Now, Governor George Natembeya, within the last 3 years that he has been the governor of TRANS-NZOIA County, the man has become a movement and a force to reckon, which you cannot assume. Now, George Natembeya has faced the greatest scrutinization from the government and even from other leaders within the Mulembe Nation who saw him as a threat that was coming to take over their place within the politics of the Luhya Nation. Tuko pamoja? Now, there was a purported coup that was reported 2 days ago, which was on Wednesday. Now, the said coup was countered by a press statement issued by Dap-K refuting any claim that George Natembeya had been declared the Dap-K party leader. So today, being on Friday, George Natembeya, together with EUGENE Wamalwa and other party officials of the Dap-K party, and Natembeya being the only governor within the said party, were supposed to address the nation as a united front, to show the people of Kenya that they are working together. But EUGENE Wamalwa, while he was preparing for presser in Karen, George Natembeya and his people were preparing goons to invade the said press and declare George Natembeya as the party leader. Are we together? When EUGENE Wamalwa realized this, the gates were closed and George Natembeya, together with COUP, were denied access into Dap-K party headquarters. So they decided that they are going to address the nation from another venue, which was very discreet how they did it. Immediately, less than 10 minutes after EUGENE Wamalwa and the Dap-K as a whole issued a statement, George Natembeya issued another statement contradicting what EUGENE Wamalwa had said. Tuko pamoja? Now, why at this time is when George Natembeya sees fit to stage a coup and take over the party from EUGENE Wamalwa? One thing I should remind you. A few days ago, about 3 or 4 days ago, the Interior Cabinet Secretary, Kipchumba Murkomen, was in TRANS-NZOIA County and more so at Governor George Natembeya's office in TRANS-NZOIA, conducting Jukwaa la Usalama tours, which is conducting in different regions all over the country. And that meeting between Murkomen and George Natembeya had a lot that has not yet been shared. And that these are the fruits of the said meeting that happened between George Natembeya and EUGENE Wamalwa. And Kipchumba Murkomen. Remember, George Natembeya is currently facing a corruption case against EACC, the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, who are currently following him up and trying to lay corruption charges against him. About 1 week ago, Natembeya was at the Senate, facing the Senate committee to explain how the money of Trans-NZOIA County got lost. Are we together? Now, it seems that George Natembeya has realized it is his first term as the governor of Trans-NZOIA County. But if he continues in the same trajectory that he has been following, being an opposition voice of the government of Kenya, it will be the head of his career as the governor of Trans-NZOIA County and even as a political figure in the Republic of Kenya. Tuko pamoja. So when Murkomen approached, a deal was cracked between George Natembeya, Murkomen, and William Ruto. And that deal was for George Natembeya to stage a coup within the Dap-K party and take over the party as its party leader, so that when the time comes, when the 2027 general elections, the campaigns begin officially, George Natembeya will be affiliated with the regime of William Ruto. Because I should remind you that no time as George Natembeya discreetly and openly declared his support for Rigathi Gachagua as the president, nor has he declared the support for Fred Matiang'i, Kalonzo Musyoka, or Martha Karua for the presidential seat. He himself, he sees that he can actually have a chance at the presidency come the year 2027. Not only the presidency, even a deputy presidential role. Tuko pamoja? Now, George Natembeya has begun this movement. Remember, EUGENE Wamalwa raised George Natembeya politically. So, George Natembeya, through his Tawe movement, has grown to a point that EUGENE Wamalwa cannot counter George Natembeya. So, George Natembeya has to take over. Remember, this card that George Natembeya is playing is the same card that was pulled back in the year 2022 within the Jubilee Party, when Sabina Chege and Kanini Kega affiliated with William Ruto, then took over the party and declared themselves as the chairman and the party leader of the Jubilee Party, which led to a fight in the High Court of Kenya, trying Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta together with his other officials trying to take the party back from Sabina Chege and co. Sabina Chege and Kanini Kega fronted themselves as the official Jubilee Party leaders. Tuko pamoja? And that is the same card that is being pulled by George Natembeya. Now remember, George Natembeya is the only Mulembe kingpin who has the voice and the numbers right now to oppose William Ruto within the Mulembe nation. If George Natembeya in any way takes over Dap-K party and joins it with the Kenya Kwanza administration, then the votes of the Mulembe nation that Rigathi Gachagua and others were counting on is gone. And if Mulembe nation is gone and Mount Kenya region is divided currently as it is, then there is no chance for the opposition come the year 2027. And I tell you, William Ruto might sit down together with these people and you people continue chanting one term, thinking that you really have cornered this guy. But you are dealing with the political monster, a man that knows the game more than anybody else. Tuko pamoja? And I dare say this card Natembeya is pulling is direct out of William Ruto's playbook, because we saw him do it within Jubilee back in the year 2022. Remember when Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta went to Jubilee offices together with Akina Gaucho after Kanini Kega and Sabina Chege took over the party? It's the same thing that is happening within Dap-K. Now, I want to read a statement that EUGENE Wamalwa publicized this evening on matters Dap-K and on matters Peter Salasya and George Natembeya. This is what he said. My brother PK Salasya, both you and my brother George Natembeya do not have to leave or cause a coup in our party Dap-K Kenya. In order to become party leaders or presidential candidates, you are welcome to face me for the presidential ticket in free and fair nominations, as ours is truly a democratic party that allow us all to realize our political aspirations through internal democracy without wrecking our party or washing our dirty linen in public. Those were ones of EUGENE Wamalwa. Now, apart from EUGENE Wamalwa, there is a certain question that Maverick Aoko asked in regards to the current fight within the Dap-K that caught my attention and caught me thinking, by the way. I want you to listen to this. Aoko said this today in the morning on matters Dap-K party. I want to read it loud and clear. She asked this question. EUGENE Wamalwa, what's happening between you and your only Dap-K governor, George Natembeya? SG Odhiambo, EUGENE poached you from our constitution master Uhuru Court. I was skeptical but gave you my blessings. Talk to him. Akianza siasa chafu, tunamzamisha asubuhi. Listen. Everybody knows that George Natembeya deserves this chance to become a party leader. But EUGENE Wamalwa has ambitions. The problem with EUGENE Wamalwa is that he doesn't go head on with William Ruto. Natembeya does. Are we together? And remember also, Peter Salasya is part of this party, but he is currently declaring himself for the presidential ticket come the year 2027. So, I mean, it is a circus of events within this party. But one thing that you must take into account, William Ruto has a foot within this party where he, together and his people, are influencing George Natembeya to conduct a coup. If George Natembeya conducts a coup and is declared the Dap-K party leader, then come the year 2027, he joins the Kenya Kwanza administration, which means he, Musalia Mudavadi, Moses Wetangula, all will be within the government of William Ruto. So tell me how the Mulembe nation will vote against their sons while all of them are within the government. Oda, that is what is currently unfolding within the politics of the Republic of Kenya. I would love to hear your comments in regards to this move by George Natembeya. Leave a comment on the comment section. See you in our next video. Subscribe.